Hello everybody, what's up, CaptainTurbo here, and welcome to the 7th year retrospective. And just in case you're wondering what these videos are, to put it simply, I go over the course of the last 12 months. I will also be talking about the next 12 months as well, about what's going to happen on the channel, and basically any updates or information I feel I need to get across over the course of this video. Just a quick heads up, guys, I am really not particularly well tonight. I am feeling really drained. I got very little energy, so I apologize if I come across really sickly, or if I come across really bored, for lack of a better word. You know, I'm just not feeling great, so there you go. But yeah, so if you're looking for like timestamps or something, I might put something in a description below or something like that. But it is basically what it's going to be. What we're going to do is we're going to be talking first, of course, about the previous 12 months of the channel. What Let's Plays we did and all that stuff, and you know, what I feel went right, what went wrong. Then we're going to be talking about what is going to be coming up over the course of the next 12 months. And then after that, we'll have like the big announcements and everything. So there you go. So if you're not particularly interested in me looking back on the last 12 months, then feel free to skip to whatever time I've put in, either on the screen or down below somewhere. You know, I'm sure you can find it. Alright, so I guess we'll start with what I've got here in my video backlog here. Apparently we started off with Skyrim. I'm not going to talk much about Skyrim, Final Fantasy VIII, or Mass Effect, just purely because these have been ongoing now for quite a while, and they'll be continuing to go into next year, but obviously we'll talk more about those a little bit later. Yeah, according to the video section here on YouTube, Skyrim was the first series to carry on this year. Whoops, I did not realize that was so loud. I apologize. Let me just turn that down. And obviously, on top of Skyrim, we also had things like Final Fantasy 14. But you know, again, I think I'll get more into 14 after we're done with all the like weekly episodic Let's Plays. So we'll get into that more in a few minutes. I'm just going through the list right now so we can talk about them. After Final Fantasy VIII, which I'll go more into later. Just a heads up, I do feel Skyrim and Final Fantasy VIII, you know, both are a bit of a up and down Let's Play. I feel the further on we got with Final Fantasy VIII, you know, the more we're starting to struggle a little bit. With Skyrim, I feel it was a little bit over the place from the start. Not to say it went badly, it's just, I don't know, there's something about Skyrim that, the Skyrim Let's Play, I should say, that didn't really gel well with me, but I talk more about this in the next section as well. So, to be honest, of the big three, I actually think Mass Effect went the best of all of them. I think the only main issue I had was I ended up doing a couple of parts with people, and it was a bit weird because for the most part it was a solo Let's Play, and in a way I kind of wish I'd just left it a solo Let's Play. So yeah, there you go. As for other stuff, we had a video I've had in the backlog for a long while now. We had Tom and Jerry the movie for the Sega Master System. I've had this, like I said, for a while in the backlog. I basically used this to make up the numbers for the Let's Play stuff, and it went fairly well. It could have been better. It was post-commentary, and it was one part, 20 minutes, I think, even less than that, 17 minutes, 35. It is what it is, boys and girls. I don't know if you'll be seeing much more in terms of Master System games. I know there's going to be one coming up, but we'll talk about that again later. Well, sort of, anyway, but we will talk about Master System stuff at a later date, so whatever. And just going for this the list here, just to see what we've got. So we got nothing on that channel, that page that we haven't already spoke about. Oh, we finally got around to another Sonic game. We got around to playing Sonic Mania. Just the vanilla Sonic Mania, because at the time I recorded Sonic Mania, I believe Sonic Mania Plus was not brand new or anything, but it hadn't been out as long and I hadn't played it at the time. And I didn't really feel up to doing a Let's Play of a version of a game I hadn't really put much time and effort into. At least as far as I can remember, this is how it went. Game went alright, it could have been a lot worse. Sonic and me get along pretty well, especially the 2D Sonic games, so it went about as well as it could. As always, it's going to be similar to how it was with Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I will probably get around to doing other playthroughs of the game with other characters. Obviously try out Sonic Mania Plus at some point, but this is very much later down the road type of deal. I've been saying I'd be doing other playthroughs of things like Shovel Knight and Freedom Planet as well, but I haven't done any of that stuff yet either, so there you go. Alright, so the Sonic Mania playthrough overall I actually feel was a plus. Not massively great or anything, but it was a perfectly good Let's Play. I don't feel there's anything too bad about it. Then we come to what I feel is arguably the worst Let's Play of the year, was Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Oh boy, this was a doozy. The problem with this was it took place over the course of several years. As soon as Grand Theft Auto 3 was done recording, I pretty much started on Vice City straight after, so I couldn't even tell you when I actually began recording this. And the problem was I had the same issue with GTA 3. I forgot that, I played the games growing up with cheats on all the time, so having to go back and play the games without cheats and stuff, especially when they're so limited, there's not really a covering system, and there's not a proper shooting system and all that, it's just hard to go back to these older GTA games without cheats nowadays. And Vice City, people may gush about the game, but oh boy, I've got to say, this was not a pleasant experience. And I noticed that the fucking Let's Play was all over the place. I lost audio files, I lost fucking video files and had to restart. I lost save states and shit. This was not quite up there with Final Fantasy VI in terms of a technical mess. That Let's Play was all over the place because of other things other than my commentary. This was nearly up there with that in terms of the fucking headache it gave me, so it is what it is. But yeah, I am not particularly happy with how this one came out. As I said, I think for me it was the weakest Let's Play of the year. There's still some fun moments. Obviously, I had a lot of the guys there most of the time. I think I only did 2, maybe 3 parts with solo commentary. Anything else, but I had somebody else there, so that was always kind of fun, but overall, just absolutely no. Avoid if you can. And I believe there was only one other new Let's Play this year. I'm just checking the thing now. Oh, actually no, I've got that wrong. It was 2, because we also started up the campaigns for Age of Empires 2, the HD edition. I'll be honest, guys, this one's again on the backlog now. This was just something I did. I sat down one night and figured, I'll just start the tutorial and maybe afterwards we'll do the other campaigns. I never got around to the other campaigns. Even now I haven't done any of the other campaigns. This was just to basically get a little variety going on the channel, do a little bit of strategy as well. And unfortunately, as you could probably have told from part 3, I think it was, I fucked it up massively because I couldn't find the fucking golden statue forever. It was a pain in the ass, but you know what? I actually kind of enjoyed these on some level. I don't think it was a bad Let's Play, and obviously it's not technically finished yet. We'll get around to the later campaigns at some point in the future. This is just the beginning of something, I guess you could say. I'm not really too fussed about forcing this on people. I'll probably come back, and when I've done the next campaign, we'll put that up as well, and we'll see how it goes. But again, I don't feel this went too badly. It was only 4 parts. The parts were longer than average, though, because I didn't feel like it really needed stretching out, so there you go. Alright, the next Let's Play, I believe, should have been the last of the new ones, but I said that already earlier and I was wrong. So let's take a look. Yes, it was the last one. Let's play SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. Oh boy, gameplay wise again, okay. The problem with this one, it wasn't really a problem with his commentary. I was fucking out of it a lot of the time. And the guy said some very awkward things looking back here. I was not well, I was on a lot of painkillers quite often, and oh boy does it show. But yeah, I did in fact enjoy this quite a lot. But I would say this is again up there with one of the arguably worst Let's Play. I wouldn't say it was a bad one. Just if you had like a meter, then this is probably just a bit. This is better than obviously Vice City, but this one's a little bit awkward with just how weird we came off sometimes during the commentary. It was a little bit all over the place, and hopefully. I don't know. There's a kind of freedom to being fucking high as a kite when you're recording, because you know you have a couple of gems here and there, and it's just kind of fun in its own way, to be honest. But I'm not really sure what else to say. Let's say if you're gonna watch this one, you know, watch it at your own risk. And finally, I suppose we'll talk quickly about Final Fantasy XIV. We got some. Got a decent amount actually done at this point. All I really need to mention is, thankfully, you have seen pretty much the last of my really bad gameplay now. At the time that this has been recorded anyway, you guys should be roughly around episode 100. Obviously, by the time you guys watch this, so episode 104 will have gone up, but I mean by the time I'm recording this tonight. We have got past the credits of Realm Reborn, so we are technically in the second half of Realm Reborn. I can say the second half doesn't take nearly as long as the first. It is going to go on for quite a while, but it went pretty well, the second half. I believe it goes up to about part 154 before we reach Heaven's Ward. Came out really well. I still think on Nova's Let's Play, this has been really good so far. Obviously, Nova is pretty much leading me handheld through this entire fucking game. But as I said, this does start changing a little bit once we get to later on. I can also say right now, honestly, Red Mage, which is what you see me recently got, is what I have been sticking to because I've gotten really used to Red Mage. I actually really like using Red Mage, and I'm actually not bad at using Red Mage either. So I feel I finally found my my character role in Final Fantasy XIV. And instead, I really enjoy it. I'm just sad that it took forever to finally get there, to finally find what I needed for my character. So there you go, Red Mage all the way, and we will be continuing to do so with Final Fantasy XIV for the time being. So we've just talked pretty much about every Let's Play that we've done on the channel for the last 12 months. And I guess now we'll be talking about what you can expect up in the next 12 months. Actually, I am going to make one announcement right now. Just as a quick heads up, I'll probably mention this again at the end of the at the end of the video, sorry. We are moving to what is technically a 2 video per week format. It's free with Final Fantasy XIV, but that's a weekend thing. But the 2 videos per week format, because I actually have not had 14 on hand for the last 7 months. So I've had 7 months to record footage, and I have recorded a shitload of footage. In fact, if I stick to this let's call it what it is, it's a free video per week format now. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and of course the Final Fantasy XIV video on a Sunday. So it's technically a free video per week format, which I'm going to say instead of 2, because that just fucking confuses me. The reason I'm doing this, number one, is because I have, as I started already, I've recorded a shitload of footage while I've not been able to play 14. And I have videos up to and including, well, we'll talk about that later, but I have more than 1 year already finished, let's put it that way. The reason I am doing it this way is just purely because I feel it is necessary to change formats a little bit. Obviously, I don't always have time to record. I don't always feel well enough to record, and I have noticed as I'm getting older, and I know it's going to sound stupid, I am feeling a lot less inclined to do this. Not because I don't enjoy it, but it's like there's always just something coming up. Whether it's my health or whatever, I just don't fancy recording, or nobody's around to do anything. It's just becoming a little bit more of a, I wouldn't say a job, but sometimes it does feel like that, where I'm recording because I have to, not because I want to, type of thing as well. So there you go. Alright, so let's get the big three out of the way first. So for the next 12 months, I can happily state Final Fantasy VIII, Mass Effect, and Skyrim will all be coming to an end over the course of the next 12 months. Both Final Fantasy VIII and Mass Effect, Mass Effect I actually feel came out really well by the end. I feel I did a good job with it. Final Fantasy VIII went downhill by the time we got to the middle of the third disc. It was the glorious type of train wreck though, where you could see the fucking train come off the rails and you just can't look away. Skyrim was a bit all over the place, and I technically have ended the Let's Play, but I'll go more into that another time. I just let's just say it is technically over, but it's not over, if you get my drift. But again, we'll talk about that at some point in the future. Anyway, new stuff coming up for the next year, so if you don't want to be spoiled, again, move on to the next section. There'll be a timestamp somewhere. It could be on screen, could be in the description. So if you don't want to be spoiled for the next 12 months, there you go. Just have a look around for that. So I should point out that we're going to be starting a couple of new long Let's Plays. One of them I did not expect to be as long as it did, otherwise I would have saved it for the time being until much later on. But we'll be starting Fable 2 very shortly. Now, you may think, haven't I already done that? No, technically live streamed the Fable trilogy before, but that was a couple of years ago now, and I feel it was time to jump back in and play through the entire game, show off all the DLC and all that stuff, which I actually do this time. I am quite happy with how it's gone. The Fable 2 Let's Play, I can actually already say, is technically finished. I've got like maybe 1 or 2 parts left, which is going to be like extra content where I'm going to show off where all the locations of the gargoyles and stuff are going to be. And I think that's pretty much the only thing I've got left to do in the game at this point. The Let's Play not going longer than I expected. It's still not as long as a Mass Effect or Final Fantasy or anything, but it was a bit longer than I expected it to be, so there you go. That'll be starting off soon. I actually feel I got some really good fucking thumbnails with that shit. It was pretty awesome, actually. The next Let's Play I'm going to talk about is Sonic 3D Blast, or Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, if you're from my neck of woods, anyway. This one was, again, up and down a bit. Originally, I recorded this for post-commentary, which was going to be done with Opie, and then I lost half the footage, which was the weird thing. I don't really know what went on there. I had like 6 or 7 parts in total, and then all of a sudden I lost like 4 of them, and it was just really, really strange. And then I was just gonna record the parts that were missing, and then I couldn't be bothered, and then I left it for like a year, and then I came back to it, and I thought, you know what, I'll just record the Let's Play live, and I did. Unfortunately, I left out like the getting all the Chaos Thermals, but here's the thing, there's not really much of a reward for doing so. You don't get Supersonic or anything like that, so it's just a basic playthrough of the game from start to finish with no true final boss. But considering the final boss in Sonic 3D Blast kind of sucks, I have no problem not putting it in. It doesn't affect the story. It doesn't even affect the ending, to be honest. So, you know, we'll leave it as it is. There you go. Other Let's Plays coming up. We have finally getting around to another Mario game. We are going to be doing Super Mario Bros. 3 for the NES, by the way. We're not doing the Super Nintendo version. This was a game of two halves. It went, I think, 13 or 14 parts. The first 8 or 9 parts were done with Opal. They actually went really well. He and I actually had a lot of fun recording that. Or if I had fun recording it, and he had fun, taking the piss. It went okay, and then I did the second half solo. Didn't go quite as well in terms of like gameplay wise and all that shit. The main problem I had was audio issues with the second half, like the last 5 or 6 parts or whatever it was. For some reason, I had some massive fucking technical glitches here and there, and it was a big pain in the ass. So I ended up finishing off a game where the audio wasn't great. The problem is the game and myself are... Well, the game's too loud and I am way too quiet. You can still hear me, but it's not quite as pleasant as like the first half of the game was. So it's arguably, I wouldn't say it's the weakest Let's Play of the year. We'll get around to that when we actually watch the fucking videos this year. But there's definitely a massive gap in quality between the two halves. But you'll see that as it comes on later. And believe it or not, guys, that's all we have to talk about this year. Obviously, Final Fantasy XIV will continue. You'll see the second half, I believe most of the second half of Realm Reborn. I don't know if we'll be starting Heaven's Ward by the end of the year, but if we don't, it'll be right after November, like late November 2021, when you guys get to see the beginning of Heaven's Ward. Again, I'm not 100% certain. You might already get to see it by the end of October. I'm not 100% certain when it'll be coming around. But yeah, the second half will go quite well, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. You'll get to see a lot better gameplay from me. And at the beginning of the year, actually, you'll be getting to see the Final Fantasy 15 crossover. That I unfortunately did not record. Nova actually, bless him, recorded it for us because I didn't have the game at the time. I didn't have access to the game, I should say. And he recorded the crossover himself, so we get to see a little bit from his character's perspective for a change. So I really hope you look forward to that, because that's going to be an interesting beginning to the year for FF15. Sorry, for FF14 with the 15 crossover. So I believe that's all we need to talk about with Let's Plays and looking back on the last several Let's Plays we've been doing. And one thing I will point out is, if I stick to what my plan is for when I come to editing this video, a new announcement I can... Oh, by the way, welcome back to anybody who avoided spoilers. Something I need to talk about that you've probably noticed during the previous 22 minutes is, for the spoiler section, if you were here, you will have seen we are going to be using a brand new thumbnail design. I came up with this a while ago, and here's the thing: this is not technically the final version, but here's the thing: this will be the last time that you... In fact, I'll be putting one up right now, so you'll see it. So we'll put up like whatever. This will be the last time this next 12 months where you'll get to see my old avatar design. I'm trying to come up with something for Nova and I for the 14 parts, but for all the solo stuff, or at least all the stuff that's technically all my stuff and not like co-op and all that, this will be the last time, the last 12 months where you get to see it, because I have updated the design. You can actually see it as my current channel avatar anyway, but I didn't have it at the time I was designing all these thumbnails. But yeah, I felt it was time for a new design. And here's the thing: despite how long it took to actually design the overall... I hate saying design so often, it's starting to sound weird. Overall design of the thumbnail actually doesn't take as long to actually make thumbnails anymore. For some reason, it doesn't take even half the time. It's also a lot quicker to do it the new way as well. So I am quite happy with the new thumbnails. I hope you guys like them as well. and they'll be sticking around for the next 12 months. The only thing that'll be updated, like I said, after the next year is the thumbnail in the top left will, the avatar in the top left will have changed to the new design that you can see on like my Twitter, and here is my icon on YouTube as well. So there you go. I mentioned earlier that I'll talk about it later, but there's a reason that I am also sticking to the new free video per week format. I actually, and I can't believe I'm saying this, and I'm gonna get it up just so I can confirm that it is indeed true. I haven't just got the next 12 months recorded. No. I have in fact got everything up to and including up to November 2023 recorded and uploaded. I haven't scheduled everything yet. God forbid I've not scheduled everything yet. But the next 3 years of Let's Plays are all finished. Minus obviously some 14, which we're getting into tonight actually. We're going to be recording some more sessions soon. But everything like the Tuesday and Thursday videos, all finished. Everything's done, and even some stuff into 2024 as well is recorded, just not a complete years finished, that's all. But yeah, we've got so much good shit on the line here. I'm not even going to talk about what we got coming up, because obviously that'll be spoiling things for the future. But we've got some interesting stuff coming up after we're done with the main three. Like I said, Mass Effect, Final Fantasy VIII, and Assassin's Creed. Elder Scrolls Skyrim have been massive time takers up on my channel, and we're going to be jumping into a lot of new stuff after these next 12 months are done. So like beginning November 2021, yeah, you got some interesting stuff coming up for that next year. Obviously, I will say this, I have made sure I've always recorded at least one Sonic game for the next 3 years, so definitely not going to be without the blue blur for a while. For other announcements, after a 8-month hiatus, I came back to streaming, I believe at the end of January 2020. So yeah, it's been nice to get back into streaming again. Haven't been doing it too often, once a week if that, and even then, even if I don't stream, I've been recording the Quest for Booty series again. If you don't know what Quest for Booty is, basically it's just my term for achievement hunting and trophy collecting in Xbox and PlayStation games. I usually do these when I just don't feel like doing commentary, but I want to stream. But the streams have been going fine. I've been a lot more focused on what I'm actually streaming. Like usually it's not long stuff, unless it's for Quest for Buddy stuff. Obviously, but that's because I'm going for achievements and all that shit. But the live portion of streaming has gone to games like Dead by Daylight, Fall Guys, Fortnite, Friday the 13th. Stuff that's multiplayer focused and all that shit. So it's a lot, technically variety and stuff, but also not stuff that I can put off for years and years. Like, obviously, Dragon Age Origins took fucking forever to finish because of one reason and another on the stream. So with Final Fantasy 15, actually, I got so bored of the game, I went on like a fucking 2-year hiatus between streams for that. I can't even remember how long it was. So, it's a little bit all over the place, or at least it used to be. Nowadays, it's a lot more focused on the streams, and that's definitely a nice change of pace. So there you go, streams. But all I need to really say there is that streaming is back, and it's nice to be back. All right, one more thing I do need to announce, and this is more of a plug, I guess you could say, is I actually do have a second channel again. I have a sports-centered channel known as the Cyber Sports Center, and if you've ever wondered, just for whatever reason, where the fuck the WWE 2K Universe videos went, they went to that channel. This Cyber Sports Center is basically a channel devoted to simulating sports. Usually, it's always like putting the computer against the computer in a simulated match in football, American football, hockey, basketball, baseball, and obviously doing a 2K Universe mode for wrestling and shit like that. We're doing tournaments to, like, famous tournaments from the FA Cup to the Stanley Cup to the Super Bowl and all that, and making them into tournaments in order to, like, decide the first the first season after that, how the teams are going to lay out, like who's going to be in the top team, who's going to be the bottom, who's going to be in the top league, who's going to be in the bottom leagues, and all that shit. It's been a lot of, it's probably been a lot of work because it doesn't require any actual commentary from me apart from when I do like updates and stuff, news updates and stuff, or new stuff on the channel. It doesn't actually require any input from me other than to record and edit shit. So there you go. It's actually been a lot of fun to do this stuff. In September, I started a new series called the FIFA Series World Cup. Now, this is different to the FIFA British Isles League, which is all the club teams from the British Isles, obviously both for England, Scotland, and Ireland. This is the World Cup is essentially what it sounds like. Of course, every 4 years is the World Cup, and every FIFA game from FIFA International Soccer in 1993, 1994 had international teams, and we are going to be playing a World Cup tournament for every fucking FIFA game that's been out there. Again, starting with FIFA International Soccer, and then we'll move on to FIFA 95 once that World Cup's done. The first World Cup is already finished. It's all been edited together. Obviously, videos are going up once every every Saturday. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Videos on the Cyber Sports Centre are 3 times a week, every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at 9 p.m. British Standard Time. Which is roughly about 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm sure you can work out the rest of the time differences yourself. But yeah, if you have any interest in sports, again, it's not just football, soccer, whatever. As I said, it is also American football, it's hockey, it's basketball. I'm also playing in baseball soon as well. I haven't actually recorded it, but by the time this goes up, they may have already begun. At the moment, I'm also looking for any other sport that has a good CPU versus CPU setup. So, where the computer can play itself. Basically, I'm looking for stuff like rugby, cricket, snooker, golf, any type of racing as well. If you can recommend me anything, feel free. I will happily add it to the list so I can start recording that shit. And we'll see how it goes. But yeah, second channel, go check it out. And I believe that's more or less everything we need to talk about here, guys. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've forgotten, because I don't think there is. Yeah, I feel that's everything needed to be spoken about. As I said, going to be changes as of... starting tomorrow, actually, because the schedule will be completely different. Remember, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday for new videos now. Same time, though, 10 p.m. British Standard Time, as always. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and again, you can work out your time zone from there, hopefully. And yeah, as I said, next 3 years are already finished, so that is a massive stress off my back. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the reactions from people for some of the stuff I've got over the next 3 years, because I have a lot of stuff here that's solo. I had some of the guys come in here and there, but yeah, it's gonna be fun, hopefully, and I'm looking forward to seeing the end of the fucking big 3 over the course of the next 12 months. So there you go. Not to say I haven't enjoyed Mass Effect, but Final Fantasy VIII definitely can suck a dick by the time you get to the end. And the Skyrim thing, oh boy, well, you'll see as we get go. Fucking, I apologize. Like I said, I'm a little bit tongue-tied, not feeling great tonight, so my head's a little bit fuzzy, and my speech is going a little bit. Anyway, we've been talking for nearly 35 minutes now, so I'm going to leave off here, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you hopefully next year for the 8th year anniversary retrospective as well. But until then, please enjoy what we've got coming up over the course of the next 12 months, and until next time, guys, sayonara.